Duryodhana is the bad guy in this, right? We can all agree on this. He is a terrible human being, and always the negative example of how one should react to anything. And yet, his last appearances in this poem, when he dies at the hand of Bhima, Wolfbelly, who basically knocks him with a dirty blow. He punches him below the belt, let's say, literally, and he dies as a result. Bhima killed him in a dishonorable way, and he admits, I wasn't going to beat him otherwise. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to win. I wanted to survive. I didn't want him to kill me, so I did what I had to do. I went low. And, hauled him one right in the bedoingies. Bhima is animalistic. Bhima is unrefined in that way, unsophisticated in that way. Bhima is an animal. So Duryodhana is the more honorable one in that critical moment. Again, you can turn over an awful lot of pages where he's being awful, but when you get to one of those, marquee scenes like his death, that one stands out. That one's a little different. And then when the Pandava brothers are on their final journey and go to heaven, who does Yudhishthira find there? Duryodhana. And he doesn't understand that. He kind of rejects that. And he questions. Let me see if I can find it. He questions that. Yudhishthira looked away. I do not see my brothers or any of the heroes who fought with us, nor do I see Karna. Ever since my mother told me that he was our brother, I have longed for him both night and day. When I noticed in the gaming hall that Karna's feet so much resembled Kunti's, I should have realized. I should have spoken. I wished to go to him, and to the others, my brothers and faithful Draupadi, where my loved ones are. That is heaven for me. This place is not heaven at all. He rejects the idea that heaven could have Duryodhana in it. Says, everybody I love, everybody I am attached to are in here, but Duryodhana is exalted in a way that Yudhishthira does not understand. And maybe Duryodhana is a personification of pure evil, is allegorically evil. Maybe. But maybe that is our perspective, the perspective of human sight, human perception, human judgment. But that is not necessarily the perception of the universal order, of the divine. And who are we as human beings to think that we can know the divine order? We can know what the universe wants. We can know what evil actually is. So Duryodhana is elevated, and we might be outraged by that, as Yudhishthira is, but we have to submit to it, because he's there. And we might not understand it, but we have to submit to the grander knowledge, the grander wisdom of which we haven't yet achieved. And in those final chapters, Yudhishthira is slowly coming to this realization, and he is exalted above everybody else. He has to leave everybody else behind in order to reach the apex. But that doesn't mean that we can follow. We can watch, but there's a mystery there that is not answered. And we are limited in our ability to even broach the question. And so even in those final moments, the final moments after this enormous, enormous work, we're being reminded that A, this is all just a poem and we can't really get behind all of it, and sometimes things are going to happen and some of it's not going to make sense. But also in the divine order, the universal order, we can't know everything. That humility is largely the point. Remember the hierarchy. Only the very elevated, the very elite have access to that divine knowledge. And only by ascending through the different levels can we ever share in that. So as a bottom level guy myself, I can figure out that, well, okay, my life's kind of crappy right now. I'm at the low end of the totem pole, but I keep my nose clean, if I do my job, I act morally, uprightly, and I support everything that I'm told by the elites and the authorities, then I'll move up. It'll take a lifetime or two, maybe an infinite number, but eventually I will rise. And then I'll get my little touch of God. But until then, I stay where I am. I observe all the rules. I don't challenge anything. And everything stays stable. That is a political goal that everybody who is promoting this work, everybody who is having this work transcribed and disseminated and performed as song in public arenas around the Indian subcontinent, they have a direct material motivation for doing so. Not for the love of art, but for the effects that that art can have on a readership. Now, we can defend against that and say, well, I'm not going to let that. I'm going to think outside the box anyway. I don't care what you say, Mr. Poem. But we have to be aware of that. We have to be conscious of that. Because otherwise we are just drones. And, you know, you can be that drone if you want. You can work in the cubicle at the end of the row and have a very nice, happy little life. But maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want something a little bit more. I don't know.